Welcome to our Demag online seminars. Today we would like to focus on our products and our online engineering tool, the Demag Drive Designer. My name is Christoph Greger. I'm the product manager for Demag Drives products. And I'm working for Demag for more than 25 years. Today I'm here together with my colleague Andreas Dume, who is the head of sales of drive technology in Germany. He has more than 31 years experience in various functions. For this webinar, we have prepared the following topics. I will give you a short overview about Demag and the history of the company. In the next chapter, I will present our products and tools. After this, Andreas will continue with an example of using our online tool, the Demag Drive Designer, and give you some tips and tricks how to select the optimum combination of wheel blocks and geared motors. But let's start with a short introduction of Demag. Our company is looking back for more than 200 years of experience in mechanical engineering. We offer high performance and reliable products like industrial cranes, crane components, for example chain hoist and rope hoist, and our drives products. We stand for maximum reliability, continuous innovation and safety. As mentioned, our name stands for high quality. We take care of it at our 3 locations, 2 in Germany, in Wetter and Uslar, and 1 in the Czech Republic in Slany, near Prague. Our drives products are produced at 2 locations in Germany, in Wetter and Uslar, as mentioned. Our motors will be manufactured from Uslar and will be assembled together with a gearbox in Wetter. Beside that, our wheels and wheel block production is located here and our power supply manufacturing as well. Now, I would like to take you on a journey to discover the history of Demag. Our roots go back to 1819, where it all began with the Mechanische Werkstätte Friedrich Harcourt in Wetter. After fusion, we became Deutsche Maschinen AG and get our famous name Demag. This was the telegram code from the company. And now, 200 years later, we are still located in Wetter and improving our business. We, as Demag, are the only supplier for complete solutions for travel drive applications with wheel blocks and geared motors, and our electrics. Our wide range of products can solve customers' challenges with a unique modular system, this based on our conical rotor motor and our cylindrical rotor motor, as well as different type of gearboxes. Our wheel systems with 4 different types, the end carriage and the electrics. The electrical products like frequency inverters and our power supply line. The portfolio is supplemented by electrical control cabinets, also possible with battery supply. Keeping your business on the move is our guiding principle every day. Let's look a little bit more in detail on our products. On this slide, we could see our 2 different types of motors, the cylindrical rotor motor and the conical rotor motor, who are connected to our gearboxes, the offset, the angular and the helical gearbox in coupling connection, shown by this here. We use the cylindrical rotor motor, the Z motor type, for standard applications. The KB motor, with its unique brake design, it's mainly used for start-stop applications. Advantage here is due to the design of the brake, which is directly combined with the rotor. You don't have to think about activating the brake. This will be done automatically when you start the motor. And when you switch it off, the brake spring pushes the rotor back into the brake position. The 3 gearboxes with different sizes have a wide range of output shafts. Especially the spline shaft for the offset and angular gearbox could be used to connect our geared motors directly to our wheels. On the picture we can see the Z motor in direct connection to the gearboxes, the offset, angular and helical gearbox. Here on this slide we have the wide range of our wheel systems, starting with the RS wheel block, our first one and still used for special applications like high temperature and rough environment. The DRS with its 8 sizes offer the widest range and is our core product. The load capacity covers a range from 2.5 up to 40 tons. The LRS is designed for high ground clearance and high speed application. Whereas the DWS wheel set, this one here, is used for heavy load applications. The system could be used in hollow shaft profiles, box sections, or corner bearing end carriages. The load range is up to 63 tons. Our two inverter series, D-Drive Compact and D-Drive Pro, are used to effectively control the motor speed. The main difference between the system is the input voltage range and the output power range. The D-Drive Compact, with an input voltage of 380 up to 480 volts, has an output power up to 110 kilowatts, where the D-Drive Pro covers an input voltage range from 380 up to 690 volt, and the output power range goes up to 560 kilowatt. Last but not least, our power supply system, the DCL Pro. The compact conductor line can supply a rated current up to 200 amperes in continuous duty. The 7 conductors, 4 for the main supply and 3 for control signals, could be easily connected and installed. Now I would like to hand over to Andreas, who is in our showroom, to explain the mentioned products live.
I'm now here in the showroom of our head office in Wetter to demonstrate you that we have not only nice pictures of our products, but you can touch them directly. Here you have an overview over the 8 sizes of our DRS wheel block system, starting with the smallest size, DRS 112. You can carry it because it's not so heavy, but almost this small wheel block has a maximum permissible wheel load of 3.5 tons. So you can put 3 small cars only on this wheel. The next sizes are the one with the aluminum housing, up to the DRS 200 with 10 tons permissible wheel load. And when we move on to the larger sizes, DRS 250 to DRS 500 with cast iron housing. The DRS 500 here, the largest one, has a weight of 480 kilograms and a maximum permissible wheel load of 40 tons per wheel. On the product walls here on my side, I would first like to present you the combination possibilities of our geared motor program. The ZBA or ZBF cylindrical rotor motor can be mounted as a direct drive on our gearboxes. This means that a plug-in pinion in the motor shaft engages directly in the first gear stage. This is not possible with the KBA or KBF conical rotor motor, as the motor shaft shifts in the axial direction when current is applied in order to release the brake. This motor can therefore only be fitted to our gearboxes with a coupling that compensates for the actual displacement. With this product wall, I would like to demonstrate you the possibilities you have with our DRS wheel block system. We have several types of wheels. The flange-guided wheel with flanges on both sides and several track gauges. The wheel with one flange, the flangeless wheel, and even a wheel with polyurethane bandage to drive directly on the floor of your workshop. Moreover, we would be pleased to realize your solutions with special wheels if you give us a drawing of them. You can connect the wheel block to your construction and several times. The most popular, because it's the easiest one, is the top connection. The top connection means that the wheel block is bolted under your construction to carry it. In addition, you can see here a horizontal guider assembly and a buffer assembly. If you already have a steel construction and want to put the wheel block inside the construction, the pin connection is the right solution. The wheel block is fixed in your construction by these pins and can be adjusted by these threaded pins. If you want to win overall height, the side connection is the right solution for you. In this solution, the wheel block is clamped with a side to your construction. The third thing we have illustrated here is an explosion illustration of a wheel block with an offset gearbox and a cylindrical rotor motor, so that you can have a closer look inside our product and see the quality you get. The last thing on this wall is a complete wheel block with torque bracket, angular gearbox and cylindrical rotor motor equipped with a rail sweeping system in front. Our last product wall is intended to give you an understanding of the system concept of our modular drive technology system, starting with the wheel block and gear motor system, which can be combined into almost infinite variants through our frequency inverters of the D-Drive Compact series for controlling the motors at different speeds. All the way to the DCL Pro power supply for the system, you get everything from a single source.
Thank you, Andreas, for this introduction into the products. On this slide, I would like to show you a first example how to integrate our products into your transfer carriages. The basic package for the transfer carriage could include the wheel blocks and geared motors. Additionally, we could provide the electrical components like frequency inverters and power supply, and the complete electrical panel with safety PLC and battery supply if needed. To demonstrate this better, we have created a short video animation for you. So I will explain at the video some important points for you. Here we see our DRS wheel block. This will be combined with an offset geared motor, the torque bracket. Together it will be fixed with a geared motor to the wheel block. In the central drive shaft application, we see this combination as the fundament for the transfer carriages. Here we see the electrical cabinet with the frequency inverter D-Drive Compact and our safety PLC. In the background we can see the power supply line supporting the transfer carriage with energy. The transfer carriage could carry heavy loads like steel plates or concrete plates, or even steel coils to be handled inside the factory. If the transfer car now leaves the factory going to the outdoor operation, then this will not function. So you need then the battery supply, which we can see here. The batteries included inside this transfer carriage. The electrical components for this are installed in a second electrical cabinet. Like here, which we see, there is the charging unit inside and the power stage to feed the whole system with energy. You could find this video on YouTube. Just search for Demag Cranes TV. If you decide to use the latest components for your battery-powered transfer carriage, you can use the benefits of flexible and autonomous operation. The system could be used for rail-bounded transfer carriages with the ability to overcome gaps in the crossing. For indoor and outdoor applications, for example, to transfer goods into a paint booth, or for emergency power supply to vertical applications. But now I would like to hand over to Andreas to give you an impression how to configure and select our products with our online tool, the Demag Drive Designer. Andreas, please.
Thank you very much, Christoph, for that insight into the world of our products. If you are wondering how you can find, configure, or get more information on all our products, I recommend that you visit the Demag shop. Among other things, here you will find our Drive Designer tool, which I would now like to show you in detail. In addition, we have one more useful tool, our drive calculation program, CalDrive. We will present this tool to you in a separate webinar. We have two possibilities to start into the configuration of a travel system. Configuration by model code, useful if you know the mounting codes of all components, for example, for replacement of an existing drive system. Configuration by technical data is a possibility I want to present now. For the presentation of our drive system designer, I would like to go through the project planning of the following use case with you live in our designer platform. We have a dead weight of the carriage of 10,000 kilograms, a maximum payload of 22,000 kilograms, so 32,000 kilograms as total weight. We want to realize a travel speed of 20 meters per minute and a positioning speed of 5 meters per minute. And we want to drive on a rail of the dimension 45.30 millimeters. The daily operating time of 8 hours has enormous effect on the classification of the wheel block into a group of mechanisms and thus on the permissible wheel load and the lifetime. With 8 hours operating time and medium load spectrum, we find a group of mechanisms of 3M. With the group of mechanisms of 3M and 20 meters per minute travel speed, and a rail width of 45 millimeters, we can find a permissible wheel load of 8,400 kilograms for the wheel blocks. If we have a closer look at the daily operating time, we can see that the travel system is in operation only 30 seconds per travel cycle. The loading and unloading time of the vehicle, as well as the pauses between the two driving cycles, do not have to be included in the calculation. So the real daily operating time is calculated to 1.6 hours. With 1.6 hours, the group of mechanism is reduced to 1 AM. The permissible wheel load of the DRS 250 in 1 AM is 12,750 kilograms. So you have an increase in lifetime, or you can choose a smaller wheel block. We start in our designer portal with drives and wheel systems. The system we want to design today is a complete four-wheel trolley. We can enter the system by giving in technical data or model code. We decide us to go through technical data. First, we have to define the layout of the drive system. The default setting here is a trolley with one gear motor as central drive unit with connecting shafts. But you can also choose another design according to your requirements. For example, a trolley with 2 gear motors as single drive units. I just change to this design. As you can see here, the selected components are the colored ones. But for our example today, we would like to return to the default of 1 geared motor with connecting shaft. On the next page, we can define the operating conditions. This is done via drop-down menus that offer a wide variety of options. We start here with the voltage of the system, go to the frequency. Then we can decide whether we want to operate in line operation or in inverter operation. The temperature is given to 40 degrees by default, but you can choose other temperatures as well. And the duty factor for a line operation is 40%. So the given motors are ZBF and KBF. For a complete four-wheel trolley, the DRS wheel block is the only possible solution. Now we have to enter the loads and speeds according to the given example. We have 32,000 kilograms. The travel speed should be 20 meters per minute. The positioning speed should be 5 meters per minute. The daily operating time is defined to 8 hours. The load spectrum, the temperature, and the wheel material are given by default. The rail materials as well. The rail type should be a flat rail, and the rail dimensions we choose to 45.30 millimeters. Please notice that the load is a sum of dead weight and payload, so you have to enter the complete load of 32,000 kilograms. With just these few details, the designer calculates after a short time which wheel blocks meet your requirements. The smallest possible wheel block is a DRS 250. We can now return to our example in the Drive Designer. As always, you can return to the previous page by typing on back. We change the operating time to the before calculated 2 hours and start a new selection. As you can see here, the DRS 200 is also sufficient. This example should be argument enough to take a close look at the driving cycle and to the resulting daily operating time, because you can save real money by choosing the smaller wheel block. We continue with the DRS 200 and fill in some more selection fields with the required information. We choose top connection for the wheel block. This means that your construction is bolted onto the wheel blocks. The span is given in the example with 2,100 millimeters. The gearbox type should be an offset gearbox because it's just always the cheapest solution. The gearbox input, if we don't know it exactly, we first start with direct input. And so the motor, the default tells us that the motor has to be a ZBF motor. The program suggests two possible solutions. The maximum mass of the smaller one is sufficient here with 35,100 kilograms. So we choose the AME 40 TD with ZBF 100A82. On the next page, we can make some modifications to the layout of the transfer car. By tapping the screw wrench, you can choose a wheel tread that fits to the rail. In our example, a tread of 55 millimeters for a rail width of 45 millimeters. Moreover, we can decide whether the wheel block should be equipped with a buffer or a horizontal guide roller. We change the wheel tread for the second rail as well. On the next pages, we can specify each wheel and gear motor in detail. The wheel highlighted in orange, as you can see over there, is the one we are currently dealing with. By clicking Wheel Options, a new window is available for mechanical options. For example, special painting, special bearings, or a hardened travel wheel, and other accessories. For example, a rail sweeping system. The necessary accessories like torque bracket and top connection set are pre-selected. We have to define the mounting position of the gearbox and the terminal box position of the motor. We decide us for mounting position M1 and for terminal box position 0 on top of the motor. The output shaft code is pre-selected by the designer. This is a great advantage of this tool that avoids complaints. Similarly to the wheel blocks, we can also navigate here into the options of the geared motors. Just to give you a short overview about the options that are possible, here, for example, are the general options you can change for higher enclosure, for example. The next option box are the mechanical gearbox options, for example, a special oil or something like this. Then you can choose whether you need a special design, for example, for China, CCC design. The mechanical motor options can be chosen, for example, a heavy van or a condensation water hole. The electrical motor options, for example, you can choose PTC thermistors or other options for inverter-driven geared motors. The motor fittings is the next menu, so you can add, for example, an encoder to the motor. And the last slide here are the brake options. You can change the brake torque or other options concerning the brake. With typing next here, the design of the first gear unit with wheel block 1.1 is finished, so it is marked here. We can jump to the next unit or use the options defined in 1.1 for all others by typing complete. We now receive an overview of the selected components, can have the CAD data here on top of the page. For the complete drive unit sent directly to your email address in a wide variety of formats. We can download the required print documents here under Publication, or even generate a connecting diagram for the motor here under Circuit Diagrams. Under My Products, here on top of the page, you can save the result of your calculation to use it later or discuss it with your sales representative. Or you inquire for the product and get an offer of your sales representative. Back to the presentation, here is the result of our drive calculation. A complete system of 4 wheel blocks with 1 gear motor as a central drive unit. Here explained larger. You can see the 4 wheel blocks with 1 geared motor in the given position with terminal box on top, with 1 connecting shaft as a central drive unit. An alternative might be to change the design to 2 single drive units as shown on the next slide. In most of the cases, this solution is more expensive, but from the technical point of view, there are some advantages. The benefits of a solution with 2 single drives are illustrated on this slide. With 2 single drives, you get more ground clearance because of smaller drives. You can realize a transfer car with wider track gauge. For central drive solutions, the track gauge is limited to 3,150 millimeters due to the maximum length of the connecting shafts. And the system can easier be adapted to the available space. With this comparison, I want to finish my presentation of the Travel System Designer, a simple and useful tool to quickly find a solution for your transport task. And now I will turn to Christoph.
Thank you, Andreas, for this interesting introduction into our Demag Drive Designer and the useful tips and tricks how to use the tool effectively. Our solutions for your needs, that was the aim of the products we presented today. Now you have the possibility to get the latest news on our website as well as on our different social media channels like LinkedIn, Xing, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. So stay in touch with us. We want to thank you for your interest. Stay safe, stay healthy.